Us. Greetings. Hope everyone's doing well. It's getting chilly here. Outside it's cloudy and it looks like it's going to rain. And we could do with the rain because we're on tank water here. So the more rain we get, the better it is. And we haven't had enough this year. Hope everyone's doing all right. We're pretty excited. The COVID-19 is starting to unwind. I went for a bike ride with my wife yesterday. Check our little bikes out. Aren't they the coolest things you've ever seen? They're little molten bikes. They're fantastic, in fact. That's my molten. It's the coolest thing. If you're into bikes, it's got the most amazing, what they call space frame. This is the only bike that's in the Museum of Modern Art in New York as a permanent fixture. It has Campagnolo gear, carbon fiber seat post, the top of the line stuff, and the cool thing is it's got suspension. So it's the best bike in the world to ride. Banned from racing. They've got too many advantages with the small wheels, but fantastic to ride. So anyway, thought I'd show you that. That's our little bike. It's fantastic. Us, Mike, Harry from down the mountain, Rochelle from Canada, Mike from Perth, Frederick all the way from Sweden, Daniel from down Maitland Way. Beautiful. I always about to say Newcastle, but I know it's not Newcastle. It's inland from there. Cool. Paul Kniep from Germany, and welcome Paul to the Patreon family. Paul's just joined up with the Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member, you're more than welcome to do so. It's a nice way to show that you think you're getting something out of what I offer, and it helps me to keep going because we all need the help we can. Also, Alan from Bristol, good to have you on board. Look, I've got an interesting show today. I'm really interested in helping. I just had a tiny little hair and I just realized I had my hair cut. Finally, I could go to the barber and get something done. Us, Damien, good to see you, buddy. Raj Kumar from Nepal, welcome aboard. And I haven't seen Deepankar's name, but I'm sure Deepankar is here from India. He's always tunes in. He comes in half an hour early, warms up, gets ready. Shane, good to see you, buddy. Shane Manor just opened his own dojo down at the coast. So today, I just want to look at a couple of things. First of all, we'll do a warm-up, a little bit of a workout. Here's my deck of cards. I haven't even shuffled them, but I'm tempted. In fact, I think I will, I'm just going to shuffle them up. I used to be good at cards when I was a kid. I can shuffle. I don't know if that... Let's see how good it... After all these years. That wasn't bad. So anyway, I'm just going to peel 10 off the top, see what it is, and we'll go from there. Warm up, bit of a stretch, but I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, a couple of extra solo drills. These solo drills can be as easy or as hard as you want, and you can build a whole workout around them. I got to tell you, I may have mentioned already, I have 3 amazing musician stories. I'm not a musician. If you're a musician, you'll love these stories. Where I had a very personal one-on-one experience with 3 of my favorite musicians, Stevie Wonder, Miles Davis, and one other who I'll reveal at the end of the story. But I follow this routine. I have my 15-minute cards. I have these cards. And when I travel with my work, I usually do body weight solo routines simply because the weights equipment at the gyms of all the different hotels are always different. So it's very hard to get consistent. You don't know really what you're pushing at one gym compared to another. And the gyms don't usually have free weights because it's too dangerous. They don't want to get sued by people who drop weights on their foot. So I follow a routine which is similar to a deck of cards, sometimes a deck of cards. And if there's a treadmill, well, you can at least control the treadmill. If you use a treadmill, by the way, always have it a minimum of 5 degrees because the 0 degrees is never 0 degrees. And the nature of the treadmill is put it on 5 degrees minimum. I usually run it at 10 degrees, and then you go from there, and it's always measurable. And that's what you need. And with your morning programs, you need something measurable as well. So anyway, here I was. I may have mentioned this, but it's worth mentioning again. I was in a gym in Auckland, in New Zealand, actually. And there was this really good-looking African-American guy walked in, dressed beautifully. He was there to work out, but he wasn't doing a lot of working. He seemed preoccupied, and I understand now why. But anyway, I hit the treadmill. I used to hit it for 20 minutes at a really maximal pace, and sometimes a little longer, but I was running marathons, so I was pretty fit. And then I do my workout, my push-ups, sit-ups, squats routine, throw some really good stuff, and then do a flexibility. And this guy's jaw dropped. He's watching me because I must have been 50 years old at the time. And he said to me, "Is that all you do?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You don't do weights?" I said, "No, I don't do weights because when I travel, there's no consistency. I just do body weight stuff, and then I can always measure it." And he watched a little while. I'm doing my push-up. He said, "Really, that's all you do?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I travel too much." He said, "Show me some stuff." So we got down on the gym floor, and he's there, and we're doing push-ups. And he said, "Oh, my neck hurts when I do that." I said, "Well, you got to cut your dreadlocks off." He had these dreads. So no, get a haircut, you know. And he goes, "What about when I do this one? It hurts my stomach." I said, "Well, that's the idea. It's called a sit-up. You know, it's not doing a little bit of damage. It's not really working." And remember, that's the golden rule about moving forward: is take yourself outside your comfort zone. The problem is a lot of guys think that taking yourself way outside your comfort zone is better. It's not. It's worse because you don't have time to recover and you're damaged. So the best growth comes when you take yourself just outside the comfort zone. Well, it's Clarence from South Africa. Clarence trains with one of my best friends and also one of my most respected mentors, Kenny Attenbogart in South Africa. Good on you, Clarence. But anyway, so I'm there and I'm doing stuff with this guy and I'm doing my push-ups. And I said, "Well, I do them on my knuckles because my wrist is straight. Do them on your hands, my wrist is bent, it hurts. But I'm used to doing my knuckles." I said, "You can do them on carpet, that's okay." So when he goes, "Really, is that all you do?" And he's watching. I said, "Yeah." I said, "I travel a lot." I said to him, "Do you travel much?" And he said, "Yeah, I do. I travel a lot. I travel 5 months of the year." And I said, "Geez, that's more than me. What do you do?" And he said, "I'm the lead singer for a band called Black Eyed Peas." And I didn't know because of a different generation, but it was will.i.am from Black Eyed Peas. And there I was in the gym for half an hour working out with him, showing him how to do solo drills. So solo drills work. They're really great. And today I'm going to show you a couple more. Plus, I want to cover and revisit some of the ones we've done already, okay? And I want to talk about morning routines too, because I have a saying, you're only as good as this morning's workout. The whole notion that you're only as good as the last workout is definitely not the reality, because if your last workout was 3 months ago, well, you're definitely not as good as you were at that workout. So we need to establish a morning routine. What's Al? Good to see you, buddy. We need to establish a morning routine. Doesn't matter what it is. For some people, it's get up, walk outside, take a single breath. That is the start of developing a habit. Everything you do is determined immeasurable in terms of breaths. Okay, start with a single breath. Never hurts. Or smell. Thanks for coming back. Good to see you, man. One breath at a time, and then you go. And if you like 2 breaths, do it. If you like 3, keep doing it. Okay, have a little bit of a stretch. Move your body, move your spine. Morning routines are age specific as well. We'll get into that as soon as I'm going to go now into a warm up. We'll do a little bit of a yoga stretch, and I have to be honest with you. I was up. I'm doing this translation project, which has got me just frazzled. So I didn't get up for my routine this morning. So that's why I need to talk about it. Okay, because I feel a little bit like I should have gotten up. Normally I do, but this morning I cancelled because I didn't get to bed till 4:45 a.m. So let's have a warm-up stretch, some solo drills. Any questions you have about the solo drills, put them down on the chat so I can come back to them and check them out, and we'll go from there. I'm hoping everyone can hear me. I just saw the microphone wasn't plugged in properly. Okie doke, let's go. Oh, I'm going to peel off 10 cards too. I haven't looked at them. I just shuffled them. In fact, just to make sure, I'm just going to shuffle them again so you know. Okay, so let's peel off 10 and we'll do those 10. 1, 2, 3. They could be really easy or really hard. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I hope we got some goodies and some hardies, but I don't want, we'll just do it. Okay. They're the cards for later. Let me just adjust this so you can see. How's that? Who's just arrived? Hey, Jack, good to see you. Welcome. Boss. Fantastic. 52. You want to do all 52, Al? You can do all 52. I'll watch. We don't have time. The only reason I don't do the full deck of cards because it takes up the whole session. We don't have enough time. Push. Okay. Knees around. Ich. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Hunter. Ich. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Squatting. Ich. Knee. Sun. Chi. Knee. Knee. Sun. Chi. If you don't have a morning routine, let this warm-up be the start of your morning routine. Sun, Chi, and one more. Ich, knee, Sun, Chi. Let it dangle. Feel it. My left leg is tighter than my right. Has been since 1984. So just got to work it out. Would you believe my right leg is longer too? In 1975, I had a water skiing accident and I ripped my leg out 7 inches from the joint and it never went all the way back in. So my right leg is longer than my left. Okay, hips, ich, knee, Sun, Hunter, ich, knee, Sun. This is a shout out. I always give a shout out to the t-shirt. Shout out is to myself today because this is our dojo t-shirt from our camp, Shingi Kai, from a few years ago. There you go. Hope you can see that. I'm not sure if you can. There you go. Double shoulder wear. Right hand twisting. Take the foot on the outside. It's knee, Sun, Chi, go, look, hitch, touch, ku, ju, knee, Sun, Chi, go, look, hitch, touch, ku, and ju. Middle hitch, knee, Sun, 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 Chi, Sun. Pull to the right, relax into the stretch. Left, relax, breathe in and out. And down the middle, breathe in and out. Really tight today, normally keep my head straight on the ground there. And relax down the right leg, 3 count itch. Nice and relax, let gravity do the work. Deep, hips forward, hip flexor, push here, push there, arm up, push forward. And some. Not that, bitch. Deep, hips forward, posture up, back arm up. And some. Let gravity do it for you. Other side, itch, knee, sun, knee, knee, sun, knee, sun, sheep, knee, sun. When you're young and strong and your knees are healthy, don't worry about putting your hands on the ground, just do it and strengthen your legs. As you get older, you've got to protect your joints a little better. Okay, Shiko Dutch, feet in a little, 45, nice and deep. Don't go too deep. Okay, just about this deep. Left shoulder pushing in, stretch the spine. Feel that all the way up and down the spine. Deep. Both arms down, nice and wide. And shikobumi, stretching the leg, it's deep. Sun. Sheep. Roll. Dog. Good, nice and deep. Leg straight again, pull to the right again. And the left again. Arms forward, it's knee, san hanta it's knee, san migi san chinda chiyoi. Hip. Right hand up, it's knee, knee. If you're a beginner, you're not too sure of this is where you learn the technique. I was talking to Oishi Shihan about this, and the question was, why is such a difficult technique introduced early in the warm-up, even for white belts? Well, the point is, you get it right, and the warm-up, by the time you need it as a green belt, you'll have it down. This time to the left. Use it as a stretch, but develop the technique here. To the right. Good stretch for the spine. And around behind. And right behind. And downwards. And again. Downwards. And nore. Shoulders. Neck forward and back. Look to the side. Around. And around. You can also do a neck stretch where you take your ear and put it on your shoulder. That's an important movement in one of the solo drills we're going to do a little later. The other side. Okay, and our yoga stretch. So I'll start from the front so you can see. Feet together. Remember, breathe in as you open, breathe out as you close. And from there, ready. Breathing in. Stretch and reach as high as you can. Out. Hands down, head up, in. Hold. Out. In. Up. Keep lengthening the distance from your hands to your butt. Extend. Don't let the elbows go out here like this. Roll the elbows in. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. From the side. In. Out. You can only reach here, that's fine. You just keep the legs reasonably straight. In. Hold, out, in, up. Here you lengthen from my hands to my butt. You keep lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. And last one from the side again. Breathe in. Breathe in. Out. In. And relax. Okay, nice and soft. One of the things I really focus on in the morning workouts, especially as you get older, but also important for when you're young, is your spine. You need to protect your spine at all times. So some of our morning routine exercises, to me, it's just learning to develop a feel of the central axis of the spine so that later on when you start to bring into play tensho movements or even self-defense with the kanku movements, turning or even enke gyaksuki movements, and using your footwork, because remember rotational speed comes off the shoulder and that happens around the spine. Okay, so spinal suppleness is really important. But before we get to that, I picked out 10 cards. Shuffle them up. I have no idea. If I had my way, there'll be no hearts in there. But whatever it is better than nothing. Okay, and this is really all we have time for is the 10 cards. Okay, so let's go. What do we got? 4 of clubs, 4 squats. Let's go. Eight, son, she. I hope they're all little ones like that. I'll feel good about that. 6 of diamonds. So remember, getting up, getting down, no hands on the mat. So getting down, 6 of diamonds. Itch, me, son, she, yo, dog. And next one, ace of spades. So that's 10 push-ups. Remember, when we go from here to push-ups, I just like to cross my feet in, fold forward to my hands, and go straight into the push-ups. So 10 push-ups there. Ready? Hitch, knee, thumb, chi, go, look, hitch, heart, cue, you. Nice. The only time you put your hands on the mat is when you do push-ups. Whoa, there is a big one. Queen of hearts. Okay, so 12 burpees. Let's go, ready. Itch. Knee. Sun. Shake. Go. Look. Itch. Touch. Coop. Jump. Itch. Hey. Oh, so there was a couple of big ones. King, diamonds, 13 sit-ups. Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Look. Head. Button. Go. Yo. Let's. Hey. Some. 5 spades. 5 sit-ups. Remember, fold your legs in, roll forward into push-up position. When you get better at that, you jump straight back. Hitch, knee, knee. Oh. Whoa, more hearts. Thankfully, it's a small one. 3 of hearts. Ready. Hitch. Knee. Sun. Good one. Next one. Ace. Diamonds. So that's 10 sit-ups. Hitch. Knee. Sun. Hitch. Up. Up. Hitch. Hutch. Yep. Do. And 10 clubs. Remember, getting up, no hands. Pendulum drive, foot tuck, hip push. Pendulum, foot tuck, hip push up. 10 squats. Hitch, knee, some, see, go, look, hitch, hutch, good, do. Got a good story about squats too. 3 of spades, 3 push-ups. Nice, there's a few littlies. I'm honestly glad about that. A bit tired today. Last card, 5 diamonds. Easy way to finish. Let's ready, some, keep, go. And there we have it. So that's a token 10 cards. About 1/5 of the deck. I mean 1/10 of the deck. There we go. Put that back with the cards here. Okie doke. So if you only have a few minutes and you're doing the full deck, don't think, oh, I haven't got time to do the full deck, I'll do nothing. Do something. Peel off the cards. Work on the idea that if a full deck takes you about 20 minutes, then half a deck's about 10 minutes, and a quarter of a deck is maybe 5 or something. You can always fit that in. So if you haven't got the time for a full deck in your morning routine, 100% perfect. Just peel off a few cards, however many you want, shuffle them up, and away you go. If you don't even want to shuffle them up, that's one of the things you can do with your morning routine, is just start off with 20 push-ups, sit-ups, squats, burpees, then 10 push-ups, sit-ups, squats, burpees, then 5 push-ups, sit-ups, squats, burpees. That alone is a great little workout, okay? Always measurable. Okay, so I want to talk about your morning routine. I have my morning routines. I have a bunch of them, and often I draw on my, I didn't bring the cards along today, but I draw on my 15-minute block cards. If I have a bit of time, some of my routines in the morning can take a little longer than others. But yeah, there you go, that Mike Clark mentions. It's true, many standards, postures, even techniques can be introduced to new students through their warming up routine in Okinawan karate. Mike, by the way, is from Okinawan Goju. They're called Junbi Undo. That's what we call them too. We call them Junbi Undo as well. That's what they're known as in Japanese. We call them Junbi Undo. And just means preparation exercises. And this Mawashiyuke there, it's a difficult technique, but if you try to introduce that when you finally need it in the kata, it's too late. You're much better off learning that as part of the warm-up routine. So later on when you need it in the kata, you've got it down. Okay, well done. Just grab my towel so I don't drip on you all. Okay, so morning routines. You're only as good as this morning's workout. Keep that in mind. If you live by that, you'll always you'll avoid making excuses for yourself. If you always remember that as a martial artist, you have to take responsibility, and the first responsibility is training every day. That doesn't mean you do 3 hours. This is the problem with a lot of people. They think, well, I have to train today, and they think of a 3-hour workout. No, don't worry about that. Like I said, everything is measurable by the length of a single breath, okay? So for your morning routine, you have to first of all decide, how much time have you got? You know, if you only got 5 minutes, then you have to decide, what is my focus? Is it shin? Is it gi? Is it tai? Do I want to work on my mental side? Do I want to work on my technical side, or do I want to work on my physical side? Let's say you have 15 minutes, okay? You can work shin-gi tai on all of them, but my advice would be to divide the shin-gi tai up, because each of them will feed off the other anyway. So if you do a really good, solid 15-minute workout that really smashes your body, then trust me, your technical side will get good too. And if you're really honest with yourself, I mean, your mental side will get strong, but if you're honest with yourself, your technical side will get strong too, because you'll stop yourself from cutting corners, okay? So the first thing is you have to decide how much time I have. Then you have to give consideration to how old you are, because when you're in your teens or your 20s, just literally smash the body. In my Uchideshi programs that I've run for people, and I've got some good news. I'm going to reintroduce the Uchideshi program very soon. As soon as the COVID-19 is over, I'm going to start making spots available for Uchideshi. But what we did is the morning time is always the smash time. That's the morning is when you really work the body, work the cardio, work your flexibility, work your endurance. So the morning, you reserve the morning for your physical fitness. But remember, all the Uchideshi were in their teens and 20s, okay, early 20s at that. I remember when I was in Uchideshi with Salso, one night, every Friday night, he'd come in and we'd sit around and have an evening meal with him, which was a real honor. And during that meal, he'd get quite, talk about things and share things with the Uchideshi. And he was asking Uchideshi, how old are you? And one guy goes, Osh, I'm 18. What about you? And he goes, Osh, I'm 19. What about you? Osh, 18. He says to me, how old are you? And I went, Osh, 25. And he went, you're old, man. So for some training, 25 is old. This is why you see some sports, they peak at 19, 20, 21 years old. Some sports peak at 30, some at 40. It just depends on the nature of the sport. But when you're young and physical, well, then make the morning routine really solid. You set a goal and away you go. But as you get older, you have to be more careful. So you could almost set up a graph where it's got 100% physical, 100% technical, and then your age determines where you are along that graph. So in your 20s, perhaps you could probably look at going really, really hard in terms of smashing it. In your 30s, I still think, like I used to smash it right up until my late 40s, early 50s. Not as hard, but as hard as I could. And there was definitely, because if you're careful, there's no reason to get injuries. So there's no reason why you can't continue on. But let's just do it in terms of what's realistic. In your 20s, you want to go really super physically hard. In your 30s, maybe you'll start to do a little less super hard and maybe introduce a little more flexibility. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think flexibility should be part of your program from day one, because flexibility is everything. So also I said that the lifeblood of Kyokushin is in the kumite, is in the fighting. And the foundation of the fighting is in the kata. The foundation of the kata is moving basics. Foundation of moving basics is basics. But the foundation of basics is flexibility. And if you doubt that, if you were online the other night watching 68-year-old Owishi Daigo Hanshi take that session, and I know that many people from many organizations do online training, but usually what happens is they leave the online training to their young students and they just explain. Whereas Oishi Daigo is 68 or 69. Some people say, I should double check. He's either 68 or 69, and he does everything exactly the same, and his technique is superlative. He really is proof of what happens when you train every day, because they couldn't tell you the number of times I've been in Japan, need to catch up with him, and he'll go, yeah, come at this time, because until then I'm training. And he every morning with his wife, he goes to the dojo and they train, and what his wife does is obviously very different to what he does, but the consistency is training every single day, So, and then you move from your 30s into your 40s, well, then you need to start to be careful of injury, especially for males. Calf tear injuries. Did you know that probably 90% of your aneurysms, of your blood clots, originate in calf muscle tears in athletic males or formerly athletic males? So all those blood clots and everything that happen in otherwise healthy former athletes, it all starts from calf muscle tears. Okay, so you need to take care of your body and stretch considerably. Okay, and then as you move on in your 50s, maybe it's maintenance. 60s, for me now, I'm in my 60s. To me, it's like I still love to try and challenge myself, because the full deck of cards, I know some of you are telling me that, yeah, the deck of cards is so easy, you do it twice. Look, if I was in my 20s, trust me, we'd be doing it twice. We used to do the countdown from 80, and we'd do 1,000 burpees in a single night. We'd do every single day without fail. We'd be doing a set of push-up, sit-up, squats that were 450, 500. We trained really hard. Now I'm in my 60s. It's more a maintenance thing. I'd like to push myself, see if I've still got the ability to do certain things, but also I focus on good flexibility, spinal suppleness, like that. Okay, and so, and even as you get older, we've got guys like Rob Wall down at the mountain, who's 77, 78 now. He's getting ready for his third downgrading. So for people like that, obviously, and he works out every morning, goes for a ride, goes for a walk. So your morning routine is age specific. Okay, then you have to wonder, how long have I got? Have I got 5 minutes, 15 minutes? Have I got an hour? Have I got an hour and a half? If you can dedicate an hour and a half to your morning training and you really take it seriously, your body will become really strong, flexible, and healthy. And then what are my goals? Well, is your goal short term or long term? You know, I know over the years the morning training it's affected by an upcoming tournament. Okay, but if once you retire from tournaments, what's your goal then? Well, maybe it's goes towards technical. So you want to say, okay, well, look, I'm doing this morning training. I'm working on this particular skill. So now I'm going to do a age-appropriate fitness level, and then dedicate a certain amount of time to my morning training. Okay? So that long-term goal. Okay? Now, here's the key, and I think this is really, really valuable. This one thing can change your whole result for your morning training. Plan ahead. Know what you're going to do the night before. Okay, and I used to do corporate training sessions to help business people develop their daily time management. Okay, and the number one thing was, every night before you go to bed, spend 9 to 12 minutes planning the next day. Well, if you're not a corporate bod and you want to plan your morning training, the night before, spend 4 or 5 minutes, so that when you wake up, you have your workout clothes ready. You have your routine set. You get up, you're bleary-eyed, you're still tired, you splash water in your face, you stumble over, you know where your clothes are, you know what your routine is. No excuses. Because if you can't find the right T-shirt, or the next thing you know, you're making excuses, and you wake up an hour later, you're falling back asleep. Don't allow yourself to make excuses, because the human condition will always gravitate towards what's comfortable. Okay? The night before, spend 9 to 12 minutes planning the next day. And that includes your morning routine. You have your T-shirt, you have your workout clothes. If you need running shoes, they're all set, ready to go. Then you wake up, bang, you put them on, you know your routine. It's that simple. Okay, now another good thing that you can do too is work with, have I got a metronome? Yeah, I should have a metronome here. Work with a metronome. Okay, I can't tell you how valuable that can be, because here we go. I'm just going to open this metronome. Oops. What a metronome allows you to do is work your technique primarily over your fitness. So it doesn't matter how old you are, you can keep working on that rhythm and technique. So can you hear that? Everything's going everywhere here. So you hear that metronomic rhythm. What you can do, that's set at 140. So we need to constantly work on relieving tension. Get out of this habit of trying to hit hard. Just relax. Then you work your numbers. Left hands are odd numbers, right hands are even. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, and boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 2, 5. Now, you can do that to music too. You can speed it up or speed it down. If I speed it up, there you are, that's even quicker. So you should jump up with me and practice it. Rhythm, rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, boom, boom. Use your footwork, defense. Head, 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 round. You work that rhythm, and you can do it to music, obviously. I remember the funniest thing many years ago. A good friend of mine was preparing his fighter for a world title fight against a wonderful, wonderful Muay Thai fighter named Sakat Patindi. Sakat, we're very lucky in Australia to have Sakat live here for many years. Trained one of my good friends, Alex Tui. But Sakat was about to fight a guy named Pete Sugarfoot Cunningham from America. This was going to be at the Entertainment Centre in Sydney. And Sakat, when they were discussing the contract, Sakat wanted to be able to play the Muay Thai music, and they play that music. And the primary reason they play that music is because the fighters take their rhythm off it. It's such a beautiful thing. And of course, Sugarfoot Cunningham, his coach is a friend of mine, Benny the Jet. They said, yeah, sure, you can have your music, but we want our music too. So they said, well, what's your music? And he said, we're going to play Black Sabbath. So he said, if you have your music, fine, not a problem. We'll have ours as well. So the music didn't happen. But one of the things you'll find about Muay Thai, the beautiful thing about Muay Thai, is the way they get that rhythm. Boom. Well, it's just a metronomic rhythm that's so valuable. Okay, so I want to look at some more. Janet, I knew. Yeah, I was just testing you. I wanted to see if you picked up that was a 4/4 rhythm there. That's why I put that little beat every 4 steps. Yes, Chrissy Dunn. There you go. Chrissy's my nephew. He's also one of my black belts, and he's also a former Queensland Kyokushin champion. And he trained as an Uchideshi with Gary. And he just said there, Gary used to love, well, on our Friday nights are always our circuit night. And the only way we measured how hard you trained was to see who could wring most sweat out of their shirt. And it was nothing for people to get half a litre of sweat out of their T-shirt. Some guys would wear 3 T-shirts just to soak up the amount of sweat. And we used to put dance music on. I mean, I know they did it when I wasn't there. When I was there, it wasn't allowed. But when I wasn't there, the cat's away, the mice will play. They'd put dance music on and just work the beat non-stop for an hour and a half. Okay, these are the things that you can do. I wouldn't suggest you do that in the morning. I'll tell you why. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. But in the morning with my Uchideshi, the golden rule was, and Chris will remember, there was one golden rule, Chris, that you weren't allowed to do one thing before breakfast every day. And that one thing was you weren't allowed to talk. No one was allowed to talk. The only person allowed to talk was the head Uchideshi, and and he would only talk to tell people what was coming up. But we'd use that period in the morning for quietness, okay? And so that's probably the third part of the Shingi Tai. It's always worthwhile in the morning with your routine, take some time for a little bit of meditation. And what I call meditation may not be what you call meditation, but anything that you can bring your focus very, very deeply into your breath and just allow the world to drop away, so you bring your attention to the present moment. And then what you do by not talking, by not making too much noise, what it does, it brings your attention inside, and it allows you to start the day on a very, very nice level. Okay, so I want to work some solo drills now. I'm going to introduce a couple more, and I want to look at a couple that we've already done. Particularly, I want to look at the bridge drill again. This is such a valuable, beautiful, powerful drill. And when we start doing two-man drills online here, when I have a partner to train with, we'll introduce some of the reason. You'll see why some of these drills are so valuable. Oh, by the way, too, please, if you think you get value, if you think you get more than $0 worth of value, then please check out the Patreon link. And if you feel like you'd like to contribute to allow me to keep these sessions up, I'd love to do it. And thank you to everyone, especially Paul Kniep from Germany, who's just signed up as one of my Patreon family. I appreciate that. And also don't forget to double tap, hit subscribe, hit the notifications, or if you've already done that, well, hit like, and please leave a message down below later on. Okay, and share it. The more you share, the better, the more people that we get. You know, I only get 20, 25, 30 people along to these sessions. And I look on some sessions and they get 2,500, 3,000, 4,000. And that's fine, because I really have a lot of faith in the content of what we do here. And as long as the people who come are dedicated to it, well, then I'm really wrapped. But please try and share it with your friends. Okay, now I've written down a few solo drills. I'm just going to be able to check them. But these solo drills are magic. Okay, so let's look at them. The first one I want to do is revisit the bridge drill. Okay, now this is a really good drill for flexibility in the spine. It's also a very practical drill. I know Shane Nama, who's online here. Shane's doing some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu now. He has a fantastic BJJ coach at his dojo, which I'd love to get along and learn something from. But this bridge drill is magic. Okay, it's really one of the drills that you should do every day. Okay, so we start off, first of all, we bring our feet as close as we can to our butt, and you get the heels off the ground. Don't have the heels on the ground, because that immediately reduces the amplitude of your bridge. Come up on the toes. Okay? The first part of the drill, we're simply going to move my head one side or the other. So I'm going to move my head to the right and then look over to the left. Move my head to the left, look over to the right. Okay? Now I need to elevate my hips as much as I can. Move my head over. Of course, you can leave your head there, but again, it reduces the amplitude of your bridge. Okay, so I'm going to move my head take my right ear to my right shoulder. Then I look left and I bridge up as high as I can, and I put my hand on the ground. Left ear to left shoulder, look to right, and bridge up as high as I can. 1, head to shoulder. 2, bridge up high. 1, head to shoulder. 2, bridge up high. Is the head to shoulder important? You can do it without it. But if you develop the habit now, remember, everything you do creates a habit. And if you develop that habit now, later on when you really need it, in that 1%. And remember, when you're stuck on the ground, the escape happens in that little 1% opportunity that they leave behind. Okay? So if someone's on top of you here and mounted and you trying to get out, this little movement of your head can make all the difference between getting them off and not getting them off. Okay? Now, we're going to continue on now. I'll do it from the side and also from the front so you can see. So I move my ear to my shoulder. I bridge up high and then keep bridging. Remember, it's the right leg. If my ear goes to my right shoulder, my right leg does most of the work to start with. So I push off with the right leg. Before I do that, I'm going to now, so I turn the legs into, this is why I want to do it from the front. Okay, so see what I do here. My head goes right and this leg drops. See that? My head goes left, my right leg drops. My head goes right, my left leg drops. So you'll see now why. So I move my head to the right ear, drop my left leg, and this one does all the work. Bang, 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 until
you can't do any more, and then this one comes into play, and I finish at 90 degrees. Well, actually 180 degrees, but my opponent theoretically is here. So once again, so I'm in this position. I'm going to take my ear to my left shoulder. I look right and drop my right leg all at the same time. See that? So I'll have an L shape in my legs. Now my left leg is doing all the work. Elevate, 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 elevate until I can't do any more. And then, see, my right knee then takes over and I finish there. Okay, let's do a few of those without me talking so much. Remember, elevate high, bridge towards your shoulder. So, ear to right, up, 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 round. And I'll show you how to combine that with another drill in the set. Ear to left, up, 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 up. Bang. Again, ear to right, up, 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 up. Other knee goes down, and I switch around. Okay, how can we combine that with another one? Remember monkey number 2. Monkey number 2. Whoops, where are we? Here. Monkey number 2. That's a good sit-out drill too. If you ever get stuck underneath someone, this is the drill you use. We come here, then we push that elbow back and head up. This is good for you too, Shane. Someone catches you in this position and they're behind you. You're going to place your hand, open your knee, and boom! Drive your shoulder up like that and push them off you. Okay, so now we go here. 1, 2, 3. Ear left. Drop. Drive, 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 drive. Around. Monkey 2, monkey 2, monkey 2. Back to here. Now my ear right. Up, 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 up. And around again. Okay. I'll go the other way this time so you don't have to look at my big butt. Ear left. Drop right. Up, 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 and around. Okay, you keep pushing your hip up until that leg can't push anymore, and then your weight goes to the other knee. One more time. Look, move my ear to the right. Look left, drop left knee. Push up, 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 till and the left knee will drop to the ground. Then you come to this position. Beautiful. That's a really valuable bridging drill that you can do there. Okay, another one we call the beach whale. This is great if you have kids in your dojo. This is a tricky one because your shoulders go one way and your butt goes the other. It's literally this sort of movement, like that. Okay, so if you watch, a bit tricky. If you get it the first time, you're better than me. Took me a few times to get. Okay. So I'm in this position and I need to move across the floor. So it means my legs go one way, my shoulder goes the other. Okay? Look at that. My legs go that way as I move my butt. Now I switch my hips. Whoops. Swing my arms. My arms swing like this. My knees swing like that. So I'm going from here. See you rock backwards and forwards. Go the other way. This is good for you. All through your body. Again, go the other way. We call this the beach whale. And the other way again. See how I rock forward and back? Rock forward and back. Then combine that. Coordinate your hips and your shoulders. That's the beach whale. Okay? There are a couple of, that beach whale is a really good drill to do too. With the monkey number 2 that I was just showing you, you can turn that into a sit-through, what they call a sit-through. So we're here like this. We go through to monkey number 2, hands planted, leg comes to here, and then I push my elbow up. So this time as I go monkey number 2, I'm going to look up and push up. See that? That movement there is really valuable. Because if someone is on top of me and I want to get out underneath, I need to use my head as the fifth limb. The magic of the fifth limb, which is your head, your dominance, the dominance of the head. So I come to here, they're all over me. If I just go here like this, they're still on my head, they'll crush me down and I won't be able to escape. So what you need to do is here, I sit through, open my leg, and as I sit my leg through, I look up and I drive my elbow and it literally just knocks them flying. Boom, and I come to this position. Again, step through, look up, and come back to this position. Go the other way this time. Leg goes through, look up. So that's the drill that you can use to start with. It's monkey number 2 with a little bit added. Okay, that's a really valuable drill. Let's do that a little bit longer so you can get the feel of it. 2 hands, 2 feet. I kick my right leg to the left. Right leg to the left. Notice my butt's not on the ground. Only my left foot and my right hand are on the ground. Okay, back, switch sides. Back, switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you add the sit through part of it. Exactly the same movement, except my elbow and head go north. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That push with the elbow, push with the head, pushes their body off you. 2, 1, 2. Okay? That's a really valuable sit-through drill. And if you have nothing to do, you don't know what to do in your morning routine, you try that for 5 minutes and see how tough you are. All of a sudden, it equalizes. It's a great equalizer. So, we're nearly finished, but what I want to do now is do some Sanshin and Tensho, because those exercises that we did, the deck of cards, the solo drills, and the discussion about morning training, anyone can do that. But now I'll just do some Sanshin Kata and Tensho Kata. We teach the Sanshin Kata very early, but we teach it without the Ibuki. The Ibuki comes later, probably a brown belt. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 Sanshin. Actually, I'm looking at the time. We're nearly out of time. I'm going to do 1, 2. I'll do 4 Sanshin and 4 Tensho. You join in with me. But here's what we do, and this is something that we've been doing in the dojo ever since I was in my 20s. When we do a kata, every time we do the rep, we rotate 90 degrees. Okay, so the problem is when you become familiar with doing a kata in a set place, you actually take your rotations and turns off a marker on the wall. You're actually taught to do that sometimes. When you rotate, you've got to find a spot on the wall and fix to it. And you do that, but what happens is it externalizes your feedback. Okay, you need to be able to do it without an external fix. So you feel the movement within your own body. Okay, so this is why what we do is we rotate every time we do a kata, we rotate 90 degrees. Okay, and that way you start to focus on the movement within your body, not focus on the movement connected to an external point. Okay, so 4 Sanshin. You can do it if you're by yourself, you don't mind doing the Ibuki, go for it. Okay, 4 Tensho, and then we'll come back and have a bit of a chat. If you have any points that you want to ask, put them down now so that when I get back from the kata, we'll be able to discuss it. Okie doke. Good. Sanshin. Mugore. Good. Strong stance. Everything is determined by your initial strong stance. If your stance is weak, everything else will be weak. Hajime. Turn to the right. 90 degrees. Yoi. Sanchin, hajime. And turn to the right. Yoi. Hajime. Last one. Turn to the right. Hajime. Oh, my bad. And force tensho now. Yoi. Strong stance, knees bent, legs strong. Everything starts from that first step. Tensho. Hajime. Hajime. Not it. Turn to the right. Hajime.
Good. Turn to the right. Good. Good. Free it up now. Get that movement going nicely now through the spine. Let it flow through the spine. Nice and relaxed. Don't stick to the form, stick to the function. And one becomes the other. So there you go. Nice way to finish. 4 Sanshin, 4 Tensho. That, by the way, is part of my morning routine. I do 5. I do 1 more to face the front. And it's a fantastic way to get a nice, first of all, connection with what you're doing. And secondly, to get a nice flexibility in the spine. A lot of your initial morning work can just be nice and easy through the spine, rotating around the spine, letting everything come off the spinal movement, because everything you do, bang, comes off that spine. Okie doke. That was a bit of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it today. I must admit I'm a little tired, so we didn't do too hard, but a little bit of work at the beginning, a little bit of work at the end, and some technical stuff in the middle. Remember, your morning routine sets up your whole day. So you got to ask yourself, how long have I got? When I know how much I've got, well, then I'm going to set the plan from there. Age specific. Don't go too nuts. If you're 40, you're not going to train like you're 20. Mike, thank you very much. It's always an honor to have you. For those who don't know, Mike is the author of that fantastic book, Shingi Tai. One of my favorite books. I'm just going to see if I have a link to it handy. If I have, I'll put the link down. Let's have a look here. There we go. Look at that. Found it. That's Sensei Mike's book. Rochelle, good on you. Thanks for coming all the way from Canada. I was going to say cold Canada, but it's probably colder here now than it is there. Guys, remember your morning routine. Let it start off. If you haven't got a routine going, you need to start it. And the way to start is with a single breath. Like I said, don't rush. I went on this wonderful website on Facebook called Friends of Makiwara, and I put my Makiwara video up, and I said, oh, this is how I do it. And the next thing you know, I've got all these people going, well, you know, you shouldn't do that. It's going to hurt your hand. And if you do that, you'll break your phalanges, and you should wear a light. And all these people, I have respect for everybody. But when somebody says something that they don't know about, one person started to talk to me about a whole bunch of things. I thought he was asking me about the process of placing videos on YouTube. What he was actually asking me about was, what about the process? What he meant was the process of developing the Makiwara through the body. That's all the video talked about. So it was clear that he hadn't even watched the video. He just felt a need to come on board and start to make judgments. Never be like that. Okay, you have to recognize that all forms are fluent. Everything has something to offer, and you use everything you can to make your own training better, which is what made Kyokushin what it is. Soulside did everything. Okay, so get your morning routine right. Age specific. How long have you got? What's your goal? And most importantly, spend 9 to 12 minutes the night before setting up your next day, and that includes getting your training workout gear ready, knowing where you're going to train, knowing what you're going to do, and have a contingency plan if you wake up and it rains. Because when you wake up and it rains, you never want to use that as an excuse. You go, okay, well, I'm just going to do it in the lounge room, or I'm going to do it in the hallway, or I'm going to do it in the garage. Set your goal, man. Okay? Yeah, opinions, man. Oh, look, that website, there's one bloke on it. I think his name's Mr. Crocker. I have a feeling he started it. He's fantastic. He just gets on and does these amazing Makiwara videos where he's just whack, and he never makes comment. It's all the other ones that come on and start to talk about, oh, you shouldn't do that. You'll damage your phalanges. I mean, look, I've been doing this Makiwara stuff for 40 years and I haven't damaged my hands one little bit, because if you do it intelligently, you're not going to. Injury is not a necessity. That's really important. We recognize that. You don't get injured because it's an unavoidable side product of what we do. You get injured because you're not paying attention. Often you get injured, you get injured in a tournament, or you get injured in a kumite where you jam a finger. That sort of thing is an accident. I'm not talking about accidents. I'm talking about injuries as a result of your choice of training practices. that's 100% avoidable. It's so stupid when people get injured. You know, even Oishi Shihan says, look, he's got broken fingers left, right, and center. And I said, what caused that? You know what his answer was? It's so beautiful. He said, oh, yeah, when I hold shuto now, my hands are all bent up. I said, what caused that? He said, my ignorance that I didn't listen to Solsai when he was teaching me the right way to train. He didn't say when he was teaching me the right way to do shito. He said he was teaching me the right way to train, and I wasn't listening. I mean, that sums up everything. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Some great comments there. Fred from Sweden, thank you very much again. I hope you got something out of it. Daniel. Yep, Daniel's one of my Patreon family. By all means, guys, if you love what you're getting here and you think you're getting something out of it, I'd really love you to come on board. That's a way you can show your support for what I'm doing, and it allows me to continue on with this. Good on you, Raj. Kumar from Nepal. Thank you very much. Dhanyabad. And Rud, this is exactly what I need today. Rio on is my morning routine. Mate, yep, exactly. Like Rud says there, we're all moving out of this lockdown. And what have we done? A lot of us have used this lockdown to do nothing but rest up and sleep in. And that's fine. I've got no problem with that. My wife works very hard. She's a translator, and she's doing some amazing high pressure, time restraining translating work. You know, so she's up at all hours and she'll sleep in. But I can't sleep in. If I go to bed at 4, I'll still get up at 5. So like Rudd says, you've got to get this morning routine, and don't bust yourself over it. If your morning routine isn't what it was when you were doing, I used to do 2.5, 3 hour morning routines when I was in my 20s. Yeah, right. There's no chance that I'm doing anything like that now. But I do spend at least a solid hour doing something. And it's not necessarily hard. Sometimes I do the cards in the morning. Sometimes I do them at night. But by all means, like Rudd says, you know, just get organized with your morning routine. How much time have you got? What am I going to do? What are my goals? Is it shin, gi, or tai? Is it mental? Is it technical? If it's technical, fine. Just work. Think about that kata. Where is my hand? Where should it be? Okay. Is it physical? If you're in the 20s, smash the body. Get down and do as many push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and burpees as you can do. Go for hill sprint. We used to do when I was Uchideshi with Masayama. The morning routine was you'd get up, go for a run, and it was about a 6K run, including 10 really steep hill. There was a hill straight outside of Solsai's place, and we used to do 10 of those, and you'd run back, and we'd hit the park, and we'd be doing bunny hops and body conditioning. And, you know, the whole morning training routine for Uchideshi at Hombu was smash the body, whip the body, because that's your time. And it got to the point where you get one day off, and they'd let me sleep in on Sundays. Everyone would get one morning off. And I remember they said, oh, you don't have to get up. And literally 5 seconds later, they said, it's time to get up. And an hour and a half had gone in a space of a second, and I felt no benefit. So I said, in future, get me up anyway. And what I do is, even if I didn't do the morning training with Uchideshi, I get up, and this is cold, coldest winter in 30 years. We'd be walking through 2-3 foot of snow in Tokyo. We used to spend half the morning training, sweeping snow away from all the houses around Hombu. But I'd always get up, and I'd always go for a walk, and I'd stretch, and I'd feel good. By the time breakfast came, I loved it. Okay, so do something, even if you just get up and walk out the door and just take half a dozen nice deep breaths. Okay, I'm setting up a meditation series. I'm doing 5 or 6 videos on meditation, and that'll show you some good breathing things too. And I have a question to ask too. I'm thinking of moving to Zoom. With Zoom, I can get feedback so that when you're in front of the camera, I can see what you're doing and give you feedback if that's what you want. So let me know if you think a Zoom session would be useful as opposed to one of these one-way only YouTube sessions, which I don't mind. Okay, so thanks. Yeah, good on you, Rudd. Keep up the good work. Paul Kneep from Germany. He's just joined my Patreon too. Thank you very much. Dankeschön, mein Freund. Thank you very much. Thanks for a session. Alan, good on you, buddy. Mike Clark, always an honor to have you. Alan, good on you, Alan from Bristol. Frederick, even a bad teacher is good, teaches you what you do. Yeah. Some of the best learning you'll ever get is from people who have no idea what they're talking about. You know, the old say, but for the grace of God, there goes myself. If you learn nothing else, you learn not to behave like them. That's true. Yep. And this is why you have to be conscious of what you're doing. Like Mike Clark says, you know, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Okay, don't confuse it. Just because you do the same thing over and over doesn't mean it's going to be good. You do the same thing over and over. What it does is produce the habit of what you're doing. Okay, Damien, thanks. Harry, thanks for dropping in the other day too. Rudd, good morning routine. Best chance of an early win. Yep, early bird catches the worm. Get up early, do a little bit. You feel 1,000% better too. And you know, you deserve to call yourself a martial artist because you're only as good as this morning's workout. No other workout counts. Did Salsai deliver quieter, more gentle sessions for technique practice? Well, I know when he took the class, he would take the class every Uchi did a special private class with the Uchi Deshi on Thursdays, if I recall. Mind you, it was 35 years ago. But that class was very dignified. It was still focused. Good question, Alan. It was very dignified. It wasn't a crazy smash class. What he would do, he would zero in on very fine points of detail with my hair standing up like that. Had a haircut today. He would focus in on very fine points of detail. And the thing that I love about Salsai was the clearer the detail, the finer the detail, the clearer the process. So he would, you know, Salsai is the only person I know who says, well, when you have koken, but when you do koken and it comes up, you have to have your thumb on your ring finger. When it goes to the side, you have to have your thumb on the middle finger. Well, you know, Rochelle from Canada was asking me about that, and I'm going to put together a session just on that point. But how many people in the world have gone to the detail of deciding that having your thumb on one finger here and another finger there makes a difference? This is the level of detail, Alan, that Salsai used to bring into his private sessions with the Uchideshi. He'd zero in. It may have been combination work or something, but he, you know, like he was all about incredible accuracy. When you do the back fist, why do you hit here? The jinchu, they call it, right? Why here? Why do you choose the targets on the neck, on the temple, on the jaw, on the ridge here, on the sarkotsu, on the clavicle, the liver, the spleen? You know, this accuracy and detail was what he was all about. So fair call. Yeah, thanks, Rochelle. Little smile there. Rochelle's asked me the question, and I promise I'll get back to it. But I have to say that I've never found anyone in the world, and I regret not having asked Salsai, to be quite honest, the exact reason for the hand position. But I have my reason for it, which I'll talk about. Thanks, everyone. It's been fun. I hope you got something out of it. Please, in 24 hours, come back when you can leave messages at the bottom and let me know that you're still with me. Subscribe, show the love at Patreon, and share. That's the most important thing you can do. Above all, share this so we can get it around to everybody. Thank you, everyone. Us. Hope your day goes well if it's starting. I hope your night goes well if you're going to bed. Thank you very much. Us.